Hey, 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 hey. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Real Talk Show. Do me a favor, you guys come on in as you're coming in. Do me a favor and introduce yourself, invite you, and drop in the comments where you're coming in from. We would want to make sure that we give you the a shout out for where you are and where you're coming in from. So do me a favor and put your name and where you're coming in from in the comments. Also, because we are live, I am super, super hyped for tonight. For those who don't know me, I am Coach Cynthia L. Robinson. I'm the host of the Real Talk Show. I am the visionary and the CEO of Plans of the Righteous. We are a faith-based community. We create success stories. We have a group coaching program. We publish annual devotional planners every single year. And I am super hyped about this year's coming planner. I cannot wait for it to roll out. All right. So we will have more information on that. In addition, we have our group coaching program, which is P2S, Prepare to Succeed. We not only have part one, but we also have a part two for Prepare to Succeed. So you definitely want to get connected. And we just recently rolled out our group coaching program, which is the Legacy Academy. It's a membership program for those of you who have businesses, faith-based businesses, and you want to connect and you want to be in a community with other like-minded individuals. Get connected. Super excited about all of that. But honey, listen, do me a favor. Take some time and to invite someone to the show tonight. We are going to be live. If you have a passion for anything, especially in the hair industry, tonight is the show for you. If you want to learn how to do your twist outs and all of that, we have the twist out queen here with us tonight, live and in person. So listen, you guys come on from behind that curtain.
Hello.
Hello. Thank you for coming in with us tonight. Thank you for taking the time out. Yes, I'm loving that hair. Listen, I have never wanted to be natural, but you make natural look so good. Make me want to go natural.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So do me a favor and introduce yourself and just tell us a little bit about yourself. And then we're going to jump in and we're going to have some real talk tonight.
Okay. All right. Well, first of all, I am super excited to be here and sitting with you, Miss Cynthia. This is just an awesome opportunity. So thank you so much for allowing me to be here and speaking to you and your wonderful audience. Hello, everyone. My name is Collette Small, and I am the CEO and founder of Superstar Naturals. We are an online hair care brand specializing in providing products for women of color, Black women, and women that have 4C, 4A, 4B type hair, kinky, curly, coily hair. That is who our products are made for. So, yes.
I love it. Listen, you and I, we've known each other for many, many years, and you have always had your hair on point.
You know, I don't play about my hair. I don't play. That is the one thing I do not play about my hair.
Okay, so we're gonna jump right in. So listen.
Yes.
Have you always been natural?
No, I have not always been natural. I am on my natural journey. I became natural, completely natural. It's going on. My son is 12, so 12 years ago. I did try prior to that, and I was natural for about 2 years, and then the creamy crack crawled back in. And after, trying to figure it out, and I was like, okay. And I ended up putting the perm back in, cutting my hair short. And then I was so disappointed in myself. And I said, okay, I'm not going to do this no more. And so during my pregnancy, when you're using, especially when you have like vitamins and all that good stuff, my hair, I just stopped perming my hair, and I would do, braids and twists, and I was just rocking a lot of protective styles. And I have been natural ever since. So it's been a strong 12 years of
Wow.
natural stresses that God has given me. Yes.
Wow, that is so good. Listen, every time I said that I was going to go natural, the creamy crack called me back.
Yes. It's tough, especially in the beginning, because our hair is, we're dealing with two different textures. When your hair, our hair is naturally wavy and it has its own curl pattern. And so when you're used to having it bone straight, and then you're now dealing with these kinks and curls and waves, you're like, what in the world am I looking like? How do I manage this?
How do I manage this? And it's so funny because my daughter has, she's pretty much always been. We tried to put a perm in her hair, and she had a perm for about a hot second. And she was like, no, I'm just messing up my curls. I can't do it. So she's been natural pretty much all her life.
That's awesome.
But
yeah,
her texture and my texture are two totally different. And so I just don't have it. I don't have it. I don't have the patience. And people think going natural, and you can jump in with this, because some people think that having natural hair does not require as much work, but I think it's even more work than having a perm.
I think, yes. I think in the initial, it does require a lot of work. And I think the reason it requires a lot of work is because you're trying to figure out what your hair likes. How much product does it absorb? How much oil does it need? How often do I need to wash my hair? Because you're dealing, again, with a completely different texture. So it's finding the right balance, especially if you are a working mother, you have children, or sometimes you're just not a hair person, but you enjoy taking care of your own hair. You're not going to the salon every 2 weeks or every week to have a wash and set and so forth. It does take up time, but there's a balance that comes once you do realize what your hair likes, and if it likes butters or gels or sprays that are being placed on your hair, and really what your hair is reacting the best to. And then once you figure that out, it's really just sticking to that regimen, and it does get easier. And having like your wash day, and then saying, okay, well, for me, it was 2-strand twists. It worked. I tried braid outs. I do those once in a while, but I will twist my hair and have it like that for a few days. And then when I loosen it out, I get this. And so there's many benefits to wearing your hair in a 2-strand twist. You lessen the manipulation of your hair. You get less breakage. And you're not so tied to worrying about, oh my gosh, how am I going to look when I wake up in the morning? And at the end of the day, am I going to look the same? So there's elements as well outside. We're here in beautiful South Florida, but we're also combating the humidity, and natural hair just loves that humidity. It just wants to go up and fly up to the sky with the angels. So we're always trying to make sure that the products that we're using in our hair speaks to it.
And that is so, and you are absolutely right. I've even noticed that on my journey for exercising, and I'm sure that a lot of the people from the audience can agree with this, that when you're out there exercising and you're sweating and you're, especially in South Florida, where the heat has been horrible this year.
Yes.
But it's like I'm sweating out. My hair is sweating a lot more, and the perm isn't lasting as long as it normally would.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So, and then I've heard where other people who, are natural, and, they're trying to figure out what to do with their hair. And you literally just mentioned about the various stages of washing. So how does that come into play with natural hair? How often should a person actually be washing their hair? Should it be washing their hair every day, or should it be once a week? Or what do you suggest? Or is it based on the type of hair?
That's awesome. Everything that you just said, it's a combination of all of those. It goes back to knowing your hair. So if your hair is short, if you're starting with a TWA, that's when you chop off all your hair and you have a teeny weeny afro. That's what that means, a TWA, teeny weeny afro. You can wash your hair every day. Our hair is like, I consider it like a plant. So the more water, the more moisture that you're getting, the more the hair can absorb that and the more it's going to grow and much quicker. So if your hair is short, really, really short, you can wash it every day. Now, obviously as your hair gets longer, that might not work because if you don't use a blow dryer and you prefer to use air drying, right? Your hair may take a day or two to dry. And so with that being said, you may want to wash your hair once a week because it takes about 2 days for it to completely dry if you're letting your hair air dry. Okay. It also goes back to when you are washing your hair, what products do you use for your styling, right? So if you're doing wash and goes, you're using a lot of gels, a lot of butters. So some people's wash and goes could last them up to 5 days, 3 to 5 days. So if that's the case, then every 3 to 5 days, you're going to be re-washing your hair, whether you use a hydrating shampoo or a co-wash conditioner to kind of get rid of some of the buildup that you've had from the gel that you applied to your hair to redo your wash and go again. For me, my hair, because I do my 2-strand twist, I do use a mousse. That is one of our products with Superstar Naturals. And this style, like I said, I started off with my 2-strand twist. And then sometimes I will leave those twists in for maybe 2 days or so, have a nice, a really cute pinup style. And then I'll take it down and have my hair like this. So I usually get about 5 to 7 days of not having to worry about washing my hair and really doing a whole bunch of manipulation to my hair. So I really am about growing hair, having healthy hair, it looking good, but also it not taking up so much of my time.
Oh, I love that. I love it. I love it. That is amazing. And it's so good to hear that there are solutions that people can actually make this happen.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
it's good to hear that if you're training your hair and getting your schedule in place, that you can make it happen.
Yes, it gets easier. Trust me, when I first started my natural hair journey, it was in the time when I know probably there's a lot of women that look at YouTube and go on YouTube to get those tricks and what are they using and how can I do that? I was one of them. I was on there going through the motions as well. And so I was trying all these products. Oh my gosh, I was a product junkie. I had bins and bins clear plastic bins of all types of stuff. And I've finally been able to just narrow it down, to the products that I know work for my hair and for my hair type. Now, again, if I'm styling my hair differently than a twist, then my products and what I'm using to wash my hair may change a little bit. I may need something that's a little bit more heavier or hydrating because gels and things like that do tend to leave your hair a little bit drier. And so it's all about listening to your hair and paying attention to it. If you know you have um, thinner hair, then don't be afraid to mix and match between like a hydrating conditioner and shampoo and a volumizing one, right? So because you can always mix and match. And once you get to your hair to a certain volume that you're like, oh, my hair's looking fuller, it looks like it has more movement, then you can scale back and say, okay, well, you know what, this week, I'm not going to use this volumizing shampoo. I'm going to go back to my hydrating shampoo and conditioner. So now to give it the moisture that it needs. So there's a purpose why there's so many options when you go into the beauty supply store, because all of our hair has a different need. So if you
Yeah.
have, yeah, so that's the other thing as well. So that's why Cynthia nailed it on the head. It goes back to your hair texture. It goes back to how you're wearing your hair, what styles, how much knowledge do you have of your hair determines how often you're washing it and the products that you're using in your hair, to make sure that you're always starting with a um, clean shaft.
I love that. I love it. Okay. And so with you,
Yes.
can you share with us your journey as to what made you literally go natural? Besides, I'm sure it wasn't just that you had the baby. What was it that was the defining moment for you that said, I am not going to put that crack in my hair anymore, that hair crack? Even though, listen, y'all,
It's beautiful. Your hair is beautiful, Miss Cynthia. Yes. Yes.
oh
Listen,
God.
I'm not bad. You never know what holds in the future now. No, I'm just
But you know what? It's so funny because we're going to get to this. There's another topic that we're going to get to.
okay.
We're going to talk about this.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I'm not bashing relaxers. I listen, I'm just all about healthy hair, So if the relaxer is where you're at, that's where you're at. But I will always encourage to rock, your hair in its natural state. That's just who I am. Yes.
I love it. I love it. So I'm with you. I understand. And I don't knock anyone for either one either. And I love your natural hair.
Oh,
And I always loved your natural. I mean, I loved your hair when it was a perm too, because your hair is so full and it's beautiful, it's nice. So I've loved your hair when you had a perm too. But
thank you very much.
I can honestly say that you were one of the first people that I met. Y'all don't, and I don't want to see y'all putting these little nasty comments in the comments when I say this now. Don't take it personal. So she was one of the first people that I ever seen rock a natural hairstyle and had interchangeable styles that really looked nice on her. So, y'all have to be honest.
Work too.
Yeah. You worked it. You've always worked it, and I applaud you for it. Not everybody can do it. Some people be like, "Oh, baby, you need a perm."
Yeah. It was a struggle. I think for me, the moment that I decided to answer your question, the moment that I decided to go natural was one that was I think it was a gradual thing. It was just something that I had inside. And what actually was happening with me, I started doing a lot of roller sets and rod sets. I started wearing a lot of rod set styles.
Oh,
And yeah, and this was I'm gonna date myself, but this was a long time ago.
Me too. So
Yeah.
I remember it.
Almost, about 20 years or so. And I started really wearing a lot of rod because I had I had a perm, but I liked the look of having the small curls. And so I used the really small Jerry curl rods, and I would use that and have my hair in a really small, tight, curly pineapple fro. And I used to get so many compliments. People like, "Oh my God, that's so pretty. That's so cute." And I would have scarves, and I would wrap my scarves. And this was just something it just naturally flowed out of me. And then it just came like, why am I perming my hair again? Why am I doing that? And I just said, I'm gonna try and grow it out. I don't even know what my hair looks like, so it's a little scary. I'm like, I don't even know what my natural, hair is gonna look like. And I started going slowly through that journey. It was difficult, in the beginning. It really was, because I didn't know what I was dealing with, and there wasn't that much education on it at the time, or resources. And the products really geared for women with relaxed hair. And so finding products that were for, you know, kinkier hair, or products that were gonna hold my hair as it was growing out. Um,
Right.
you know, I had the straight on the ends, and then I had these, you know, my roots was like, whew, wash days was stressful for me. I was like, how am I gonna do this? Because I wasn't ready to cut off those ends yet. But yeah, it was definitely one of those gradual things. I just started wearing my hair in really tight curls. And so I think that actually gave me the courage to look at myself differently, because while everyone had bobs and asymmetrical haircuts and the back was shaved, or, you know, short, you know, T-bars and Halle Berry styles, I was coming in with a head wrap and these tight curls. You know, and I would get people looking at me like, okay, that's really cute. It's different. You're wearing it.
You was working it though.
You know? But it definitely let me see what I would look like, you know, if I just let my hair just be in its natural state. So that was part of the transition for me, was taking my mind out of wearing my hair or feeling like I needed to have a flat iron and you know, combing it flat, and seeing my hair that way and myself that way is really
Mhm.
looking at myself from a different mindset. Yeah.
So would you say that you would consider yourself a trendsetter?
I guess if you say it like that, I definitely feel my advocacy for natural hair. I have helped a lot of women take the jump, take the jump and say, you know what, Collette, I'm going to try it, and they have. A lot of my friends, I was the first with them. Now we're all natural, you know, and
Oh, wow.
no one has a perm, you know, and it was just a slow, gradual thing for everyone on their own. I guess they were like, okay, well, Colette can wear, oh, her hair looks, oh, okay, you know, so, yeah, yeah. So, you know, it's just, it's, yeah, I guess so. I guess I could take that. Yeah.
Okay. All
Totally
right.
speaking.
And
Yeah.
so, what type of mindset for someone that would be that is interested in shifting over? What type of mindset would you say that that person would need to have if they wanted to do some of the things that you're doing, that you've come accomplished? And I'm saying that in the aspect of you've started a wonderful business
Yeah.
based on your passion,
Yeah.
and your passion has made you a created a scalable business.
Yes.
So what type of mindset did you have to have for you to shift your passion of doing something into a business?
Oh, that is such an amazing question. I think I was looking at it from a grander picture. How can I assist women and help them obtain healthy hair and awesome styling results on a bigger scale, that's outside of and working outside of myself? I really had to dig into myself and say, okay, Colette, you know, everyone always comes to you for um, the ideas, or what should I do with this? This is happening to my hair at this moment. Colette, what product do you think I should use? And I always have an answer. And I am not a cosmetologist. I'm not a licensed hairdresser. So I never pretend to, you know, to be anything outside of my scope, right? Um, but I have always been into hair, and I've always understood. It's very weird. I just have very connected to hair. But I think it's more so on the scale of um, the understanding, maybe more of the science, but not being so scientific, and helping, you know, women, you know, if your hair is like this and you want to do this, well, this is what's going to work. And I think that having the mindset to start the business really comes from, again, being able to help women on a bigger scale, on a bigger, um, on their hair care journey. It's just exciting and fulfilling to know that, you know, um, Superstar Naturals or myself gave you an amazing twist out, or gave you an amazing rod set, that when you went to that banquet or you showed up for your job, girl, You was like, yes, today. And when you left at 5 o'clock, you was like, yes, ma'am, my hair is still looking fly. Like that for me is what I hope that women that are using our product feel, and those women that come back, they're just like, oh my gosh, Collette, this oil is so amazing, and the mousse is so awesome. I even put it in my husband's beard and he loves it. And so, that is what makes us excited about, the journey that we're on with Superstar Naturals.
So would you say that even someone that has a perm could still utilize your products?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You even if you have a perm, our mousse is a curl defining mousse. So if you wanted to wear your hair in a roller set, or if you wanted to, or if you were wearing braids and you needed to set the braids, you definitely can use mousse for that. Our hair growth serum has a lot of ingredients that are really focused on hair growth, and so that is for all hair types. I just know I know that it's easier to speak to women that I know are trying to get to a place of being in a really positive reflection of themselves when it comes to their hair, and I can speak to that. And so that's why I've preferred to speak to women, Black women, that are on their natural hair journey and that are looking for products that are going to give them long-lasting styles, but also are going to cater to them having healthy hair as well.
And that's one of the things that I really love about what you're doing. I love the fact that you're promoting healthy hair. I totally 110% agree that we should be concerned about the healthiness of our hair. And I love the fact that you created a product that is focusing on the healthiness of your hair. So with that being said, with your products, if someone decided they wanted to pursue creating a brand as what you've done, can you give them some tips? Because you mentioned here, but one of the things I want to commend you on, you mentioned, I'm going to shift for a minute, then we're going to come back to that question. One of the things I want to say to you is you mentioned that you're not a cosmetologist, that you don't, but I can say that in our conversation, you are very knowledgeable and educated on hair.
Oh, thank you.
So I applaud you on that, because you can go to some people and
where you going?
You can go to some people and they can't communicate about their what they're doing. They can't talk about what their trade is. Yeah. You've educated yourself, and even in the way that you speak, you've truly educated yourself in your product, in your line, in your trade, in what you're doing. So I commend you with that. That is amazing. Just have it. When you were talking, I had this big old smile. I felt like a mama with a little child. What happens when most small businesses, we start out with a business idea.
Yeah.
And we forget that we have to keep educating ourselves in that field. We have to keep educating ourselves to be that expert, because you never know what that small business is going to connect to.
Oh, yes. Amen about that. Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
You can connect with a corporation, you connect with an investor. There's so many opportunities that you can connect with, but if you can't even share what your business is about, then how can you expect someone to buy into your vision?
I absolutely agree. I think that's one of the keys of, when you're having a business, is the passion behind it. You know, some people get into a business just for the money, but there's nothing like having the passion behind what you're doing, because at the end of the day, you're solving a problem for someone.
Yeah.
And if you are the problem solver, then you should have the answers, and you should be passionate about sharing those solutions and those answers. And I can definitely say I have been there and I have done that. And even prior to me being natural, when I was relaxed, I was the go-to friend, granddaughter, aunt, cousin, that Collette, what do I do with X, Y, and Z? So I've always been very passionate about hair and just kind of understood um, how it flows. Um, and it's funny because I'll go into a supermarket and I'll see someone with their twists, and I'm like, oh my gosh, she did such a great job. But if she just did, and in my head, if she just would have taken that one extra step and did blah 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 blah. Like, this is how my brain is processing. And there's moments in time when I have met so many people in the supermarkets, in the stores, because of my hair, and I've gotten stopped and we've exchanged phone numbers. And then to this day we connect. I've literally held hands with women and we never met before, but before we leave, we end up in prayer. And this is in the middle of a Publix aisle. And because we talked about hair and we connected and discussed some of the struggles. And so I get excited. I think this is just an awesome time um, in history right now for women like ourselves when it comes to our hair, because our hair is so powerful.
Yeah.
It's a lot about who we are, whether you're natural, whether you're relaxed. It sets the precedence when you walk into a room. When
Yes.
you look at someone, the first thing, it's from the head down.
Yes.
So, and especially for, Black women, it's always about what's going on with our hair, because we change
Yes.
in 5 seconds. We could walk in with it straight today, and tomorrow we got twists and braids, and it's purple. You know, we got highlights, and yes, our hair is one of our creative energies as well. So it's I just love it. And I definitely can say I can walk into a store and see someone. I'm like, oh my gosh, your hair is so nice. Or I'll get, oh, your hair is really pretty. It opens up the conversation.
Conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I can see that too. I can truly see that. Because again, you be on point. It's so funny when my daughter was younger. One of the things that because of course she had that hair, it was full, it was long. So I cut my hair off to make sure that I was able to tend to her hair, because her having long hair, me having long hair, something had to give. So mine had to go. I made sure I tended to hers. So I cut mine off to be the Holly Berry look, and hers was down her back. So one of the things that I used to do is I actually used to make her hair products.
Oh wow. Nice.
And, people used to ask me all the time, can you make some of that? And now, since I passed the recipes over to her, she does it now for hers. But look, she's like, I'm done. I'm tired. I need to find somebody else that can make some products that I can go to and get some things done. So, and that was the scope of me doing it. However, I was actually mixing certain products and combining them together. So with you, can you share, because you literally, it's like to a science. I'm so serious that it's like to a science as to what ingredients need to go into. Did you by chance have to take some type of credentialing or anything to learn this stuff, or you just really just dove in and learned it on your own? Or did you go and seek some type of credentialing?
I dove in and I did my research. And I spent months before I actually started bottling the product. I spent months looking at products that were geared to growing the hair, because a lot of oils have multiple uses, right? But I wanted to see the ones that, when in the research, the first thing that would come up would be hair growth, healthy scalp, promotes, you know, it's fast absorbing into the hair shaft. So the product isn't just sitting on your hair, it's actually penetrating into the hair shaft, because it's someone like me that has extremely low porosity hair, which means that products, any product or water that hits my hair, it's going to just sit before my hair absorbs it, right? And so there's some women that have high porosity hair, meaning that as soon as the product hits their hair, it quickly absorbs. Sometimes it absorbs too fast that their hair is still very dry. So for me, products take a while to kind of go in. It has to like melt literally into my hair. And so I was trying to find a good balance for women that had low porosity and high porosity hair, that the products would actually penetrate into the hair shaft, also building the hair from the inside out. And so the products that I use specifically for our hair growth serum, we do have 13 plants and essential oils in the bottle, and they are all geared to hair growth.
Love
So
it.
yes, yeah. So we have products in there like Abyssinian oil, like Mobab oil, oils you may have not even heard before. But then we also do have some of the traditional, like coconut oil. We do have some grapeseed and some black seed oil as well. So our products are packed with a lot of vitamins. So we have vitamins A, K, C, D, and E. We also have, it has antioxidants in there as well. And so, like I said, it's all about starting from the scalp, going down, and making sure the coverage is all around. And a little goes a far way with our products as well.
Amen. Amen. So, have you always wanted to be an entrepreneur, or is this something you just literally just walked into?
No, I've been praying to God that I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur. It's funny because I always said one day I would have or be my own business, right? Um, just I always thought, because I'm a singer, and that's one of my first passions is singing, and I always thought that music was going to take me on that journey. Um, and so hence kind of the name Superstar Naturals, but I'm also geared it towards the products, because I feel like the ingredients that we use are superstars individually, and so collectively it's just an amazing pot of goodness. And so it's the name for our brand is kind of twofold for me. It kind of keeps it organic to who I am, but also to the products and to the women that I serve. Um, so yeah, you did ask me another question. I don't think I answered it.
Look, I forgot the question now. So, because they come to me like this, but you actually, the thing that really shifted me is the fact that when you said that you used to sing, and I was like, oh my God, you did. You used to sing.
Yes, yes,
I forgot all about that.
yes. I still sing. I actually just did a big event, a nonprofit organization here in the county, and I just did the national anthem that was 2 weeks ago. Um, so yeah, I still sing in the county. I still sing wherever I can. That's my first love. But I always knew I was going to be an entrepreneur. And I had a moment with God, and I was just like, okay, God, I really want to know what is my journey, where do I go from here. And I had to just get on my knees and have a moment with him, and
Mm.
um, said, start this. And he gave me the name Superstar Naturals. And he was like, because I wanted something that was natural for me, that it was my own talents. I didn't want to be pulling and trying to, you want something that you're passionate about, and that all of the gifts that you have inside of you are able to flow naturally. And that was one of the things that I prayed for. And um, You know, how do I use my natural born gifts to help others, to, you know, to uplift others? And so that was how Superstar Naturals was born.
Wow. Oh my goodness. That brought chills to me because I do remember you singing, and I can see the correlation between the two. Isn't it so ironic how God will shift something and bring it to fruition?
Yes.
So you, like you say, you've always wanted, I had a passion to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
However, you didn't know which way God, and by you going to God, and people, let me just say to y'all, stop acting out of your own understanding. Go to God.
Go to him. He has the answer.
He has the answer. Y'all could be wasting so much time, but God has the answer. And if you just take the time, just like Collette said, she said she took the time and she went to him and she laid it on the altar for him to give her clarity. So that's what we have to do as entrepreneurs, as faith-based entrepreneurs. We have to make sure we're including God in the process. And Collette, that's exactly what you did. And that's exactly how God presented you with your divine appointment. This is an assignment.
It is.
It's an appointment. But even with God's assignments, he will make sure that he takes care of you during that assignment.
Yes.
He's creating a legacy, not only for you, but for your family. This is going to be a generational legacy because this isn't something that's just going to pop up and just go away. No. This here is an assignment that is helping people. And then another thing I want to commend you on saying, and I talk to my group all the time about this, is people, stop chasing the money.
Don't chase the money.
Don't chase the money. Collette said that she did it because she was passionate about it. She wasn't worried about the money aspect of it because she did it because she was passionate. The money will flow. The money will come. Remove the financial aspect from the equation because God is going to be your provider.
And can I add to that? And trust me when I tell you, there was many nights I said, oh my God, you know, I knew the next step that I needed to take. And I'm like, okay, how do I do this? You know, how do I make this step? Who do I, you know, and when you're new in business, and I'm still very new, I'm a baby in this. But when God is in it, oh, he is such a provider. And the people that you connect with are not just people for now, but they're for people for the future too. And they're taking you on the next step and the next step and the next step, and everything that you need, it just aligns and it flows so much easier. Yes, there's going to be moments where you're like, okay, I'm here now. I have to climb this mountain. How do I climb it? Oh, trust me, he's going to give you every tool, but he's waiting for you to take that step so that he can say, okay, now you took this step. Now I can give you this chisel. Now I can give you the hammer. Now I can give you rope.
Oh, honey, you preaching now. You preaching.
Yes. So don't be afraid. Don't be afraid, and don't think that you're the market that you want to be in is saturated, because there's no other you, and there's nobody else that is going to bring the idea that you have in your heart like you do. And the people that you connect with are going to be it's going to flow so organically, because they are reflections of who you are, right?
Yes.
Once you know who you are, you will be able to push that out, and God is going to make sure that you connect with those people on that level. Yeah.
Yep. Amen. Amen. All right. Okay. So we're gonna be wrapping it up soon. This has been some really, really good conversation. But before we wrap this up, I want us to have just a quick little conversation.
Okay.
It's so ironic how God shifted us to have this today, right after they literally just published It was all on the news all last week. And I think they just did a documentary on it about how perms have been, how perms, they've connected perms contributing to cancer in African American women.
I did see that. Yeah.
So it's so ironic that we're having this conversation now, because I'm sure that there's going to be a lot of other people that are going to shift. And as they shift, they're going to need to be connected with some shakers and movers that know what they're talking about.
Yes.
So one, I just wanted you to share, I don't know, were you able to watch the documentary?
I was not able to watch that. I just saw like the quick clip of it, and I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I haven't watched the documentary yet either, but I did see the flow of it, and I've had so many phone calls in reference to it, and so I know that this here is going to definitely bring about some conversation and maybe and some connections for you, because I want the people to connect with you, because one of the things that I do see you do is on Instagram. Oh, you listen, on Instagram, y'all, this young lady will go through and show you how to do. She show you how-tos on Instagram. So if you guys are not connected and you want to know, if you go connect with her on her Instagram page. Are you doing it on any other platform too, or is it just on Instagram?
I am on Facebook, Star Naturals. So Facebook and Instagram. Yes.
Okay. So last thing is, for someone that is trying to, if you can give some best practices for someone that is trying to shift over from the perm going into natural, if you can give them some best practices.
I would say the first one is routine. That having a routine will help with your frustration, because this is going to be a new journey for you. You're dealing with hair strands and textures that you haven't dealt with before. And so your hair doesn't no longer wants to lay flat. Your hair no longer wants to do exactly what you say it should be doing. And so patience, that is the next thing. So having a routine and having patience. And in the beginning, although you're experimenting with products, my suggestion during that experimentation phase is give the products some time. So when I say that is, the reason I say that is because, okay, you're trying a new leave-in conditioner, right? You have your shampoo conditioner, now you have your leave-in. Give it a 2 week, maybe a month. This month, I'm going to use this and see how my hair reacts. Okay. And I say that because sometimes you don't give a product an opportunity to really do what it needs to do, and you're on to the next because, oh, it's not giving me the results that I want, so I'm just not going to use this one again. Try it one more time, or maybe 3 times before you say, okay, I'm going to move on to something else. And again, it all goes back to just the repetition of finding the product, having patience, and having a routine. And as your hair goes through different stages, so if you cut off all your hair and you're going through the different stages, your hair texture is going to change as it starts to grow out. Because now, instead of as it gets longer, it's going to get heavier. So it's going to start to lay. And the curls are going to probably come out to be like more like a wave / coil. It's not going to be as tight. So have patience, because there is, what's the word I'm looking for? There is a solution at the end of the tunnel. Yes, just have patience with your hair, and just enjoy every stage of the hair journey process. It's you. This is who you are. This is the hair that's growing out of your head. So enjoy it. Talk to it like a flower. And it'll tell you exactly what it needs.
Amen. Amen. Okay, Colette. Oh my goodness, we could go on and on and on, y'all, because we only touching half of what we could discuss.
Yeah.
But I just want to say thank you for coming on the Real Talk Show. It's truly been a pleasure having this conversation. Very educational, even for myself. I may not have. Well, one, I go to get my perms, but and she only puts them in as needed.
Right.
So I may try to stretch it out a little bit.
Yes.
I may try to stretch it out a little bit more. And so I am going to go and visit your site, and I'm going to purchase some products, because on those stretches, when it ain't on straight,
Yeah. Yeah.
okay, instead of me getting a perm 4 times a year, maybe I only get it twice a year.
Yeah, yes. There's a lot of women that do that too. And I also have to say that there's versatility. Like my sister, for instance, I mean, now she's locked, but prior to being locked, she went natural, but she never wore her hair in its curly state. So she always wore her hair flat ironed. She never wore it in its curly state. And when you saw her, you would have thought she had a perm, because that's how she trained her hair. So just also understand that just because you're natural doesn't mean you have to wear it in its, you have to wear your hair kinky and coily. But the cons to that is, if you're always flat ironing and using a lot of heat, you're going to lose your curl pattern. But for some women, that doesn't bother them. They just know they're not putting any chemicals in their hair, and they still wear their hair bone straight. So there's versatility in natural hair. So don't forget that.
I love that. I love it. All right. So do me a favor. Let the people know how they can connect with you.
So you can always reach out to me. You can always send me a message via email at superstarnaturals@gmail.com. If you have any questions about or any hair tips, you can always reach out to us there, and we'll feel free to respond and reply. We also have on our website superstarnaturals.com. We have some blogs on how to do twist outs. We will be promoting some more blogs on there as well, referring to Black women in corporate America, and how our hair affects the environment, and how we show up every day. And so, yes, we are covering a lot of topics when it comes to women and hair in different arenas. And so, yeah, Superstar Naturals on Facebook, Superstar Naturals on Instagram, and yeah, that is where you'll find us.
Awesome. I love it. I love it. One of the things I do want to say is I love the fact that you promote the confidence of wearing your natural hair also. So yes. I love that. I love that. So you guys, thank you guys for joining us tonight. It's truly, truly been a pleasure. If you haven't done so already, make sure you connect with Collette. Make sure you go over to her page. Make sure you go over to her website. Go by and visit Superstar Naturals, .com, www, as you see it strolling across the bottom of the screen. In addition, I have dropped it in the comments, and it is there. All you have to do is click on the link and share, like this video, and make sure you promote it and let other people know that you are connected with Collette. You definitely want to get connected, because she is doing some amazing, amazing things, and she has some amazing products, and you want to make sure that you are doing what you need to do so you can have, you see that hair? You see that hair right there? So you can have some hair that's bouncing and waving like that, okay?
Can I also just add as well that we do have 15% off on our website. There is no code required. So once you get to checkout, the discount code will be applied. So also subscribe to our email list. The holidays is coming up, so we're going to have an amazing sales, Black Friday sales, Monday cyber sales, Christmas holiday sales, New Year's. We're going to be doing it all and giving back to our community. So definitely sign up for our website, for our email list, so that you'll be ahead of the game with our sales and promotions and blogs coming up.
I love it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Y'all caught that? 15% off. That's a lot. 15%. So y'all better get connected. So thank you, Collette, again for coming on the Real Talk Show. We thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule for just being real, us having that real conversation. For you guys that have not connected with us, make sure you join the Plans of the Righteous Facebook page, www.plansoftherighteous.com, or join our academy, plansoftherighteous.com, and join our Legacy Academy, which is a membership program, or you can join our P2S, which is Prepare to Succeed. It's for faith-based entrepreneurs that's taking their business to the next level. We love you guys, but we have to go. Collette, tell the people that we have to go. Tell them bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.